Hello again, everyone. So this week I'm going to be talking about Pittsburgh sports teams. So I'm going to talk about the Penguins of the NHL, the Steelers of the NFL, and the Pittsburgh Pirates of the MLB. So I'm going to start the week off with a look at the Pittsburgh Penguins, who are right now in the Stanley Cup playoffs, facing off against the Rangers in round one. Currently the series is 2-1 for the Rangers, but it's been a tight series. All games have been decided just by one goal. Game 1 and 3 were 2-1, both won by the Rangers as score, and then Game 2 is the game that the Penguins have won, which they won 4-3. So that's a pretty tight series, and the Rangers did win the President's Cup, obviously, for the best regular season record in most points. So they're going to be a tough team to beat if the Penguins want to get to the second round, but I do think they have the talent and skill to get there for sure. Looking back at the regular season, obviously, if I'm talking about the Penguins, Crosby and Malkin are the two guys that are going to be responsible for the Penguins making a deep playoff push and getting to the second round. Both this past season had 28 goals in the regular season. Crosby had 56 assists, and then Malkin had 42 assists. So between the two, they had 154 points, which is pretty impressive if you look at it just between two players having 150 plus points just between two guys. They made some moves at the trade deadline, bringing in a few guys. I think Daniel Winnick has been the best acquisition at the trade deadline for them. He had 9 goals and 25 assists this season between the teams he played for. And then looking ahead at some of their young players, they do have two defensemen on their team that were both drafted in the first round in 2012. Pouliot, who was drafted 8th overall, and Oli Mata, who was drafted 22nd overall. Pouliot just played in 34 games with 2 goals and 5 assists, and then Mata just played in 20 games with 1 goal and 8 assists. Again, those guys were both just born in 1994 and were just drafted back in 2012. So they're still, they're still going to need time to develop, and I don't think they're going to be cornerstone defensemen for the next. Maybe next season they will be, but I think maybe a couple more years. But they do have other defensemen that definitely can step up. Chris Letang, obviously, with his 11-goal, 43-assist season. Christian Ehrhoff had a shortened season. He only played in 49 games, 3 goals, 11 assists. Imagine what he could have done with a full season. They also acquired Lovejoy at the trade deadline, a good defenseman that they picked up there. 2 goals, 12 assists this past season for him. Looking at other forwards outside of Malkin and Crosby, who need to continue to play like they did in the regular season and make an impact, is obviously Downey, 14 goals, 14 assists with his season. Lapierre, he only had a 2-goal, 9-assist season, so hopefully he can produce a little bit more. Chris Kunitz, obviously, 17 goals, 23 assists. He's going to need to continue to step up for them. They also picked up Perron at the trade deadline. Like I said, Winnick had 9 goals, 25 assists. Perron had 17 goals and 24 assists, so he even had a better regular season. But I definitely think those two guys that they picked up at the trade deadline are going to be what can get them to the second round. Teams that are going to make the playoffs when they do make moves at the trade deadline, if they're going to be buyers, they're going to want to acquire guys that can make an impact and be helpful when the playoffs do come along, and I think those two guys will for sure be able to do that. Sutter, 21 goals, 12 assists, so he'll need to continue to play well. And then I think Hornqvist is kind of slid under the radar with 25 goals and 26 assists. Again, when you play on the Penguins, obviously Crosby and Malkin are going to get the most attention, and deservingly so when you look at the seasons they had. But a guy who has a 25 goal, 26 assist season, so a 50-plus point season, kind of flies under the radar because he plays with big stars like that. But Hornqvist is obviously a guy that can produce and will continue to and will need to in the playoffs for them to make a deep run. They have had recent success. They did win back-to-back cups back in the early 90s, in the 90-91 season and the 91-92 season. And then most recently back in 08 and 09 they won the cup. So they have had recent success. And there's no reason that I don't think they could beat the Rangers. I think it's going to be a very deep series. Like I said, it's 2-1 right now for the Rangers. They do have Game 4 in Pittsburgh. When teams do make the playoffs and you don't have home ice advantage, I think the mindset and the goal is that your first 2 games are going to be on the road. You want to win one of those 2, and then if you can get back home and win both of your home games and go up 3-1, that's solid. But now I think the Penguins are going to want to try to at least even up the series and make it a 2-2 series before they head back to New York. You don't want to go down 3-1 in the series to the Rangers, who, like I said, have won the President's Cup and are going to be a successful team and could knock you out in 5 games if that does happen. So I do think the Penguins got to get this series back even 2-2, and then it'll at least be a 6-game series. I could see it even going to 7. Obviously, I'm going to talk about Fleury now, looking at the goaltending situation. Great goaltending matchup in that series for sure. Fleury is a solid goaltender for the Penguins. You look at this past season, 34, 20, and 9 with a 2.32 GAA and a 920 save percentage. Obviously with the Vezina, I think Carey Price of the Canadiens has kind of run away with that as the best goaltender in the league this past year. But if Fleury had, went 38, 16, and 9 or something like that instead, I think he would have given Price a solid run for the Vezina, just based on his GAA and his save percentage. If those were what they are, Carey Price's is like 1.9 or something, so that's ridiculously good. But Fleury's at a 2.32 and a 920 save percentage. Those are very, very quality numbers for a goaltender. I think it's just his 34-29 record was the thing, and is going to be the thing that would stop him from winning the Vezina. But like I said, if he had 38 win kind of season, or even if he went 36, 18, and 7 or something like that, who knows? He might have been able to be in the Vezina talks, but I do think Carey Price, the Canadiens, is going to run away with that. Looking at Fleury for his playoff career, excluding the 3 games of this playoff series that he's already played in, his playoff career, he's played in 94 playoff games, so he's got a lot of playoff experience, which is important with your netminder in the playoffs, is a guy that knows the playoffs and has playoff experience and gets the pressure of the playoffs. He's 52 and 41 with a 2.68 GAA and a 905 save percentage. So again, save percentage, anything over 900 is going to be solid. It's 905, to make it really simple. That means if he gets 20 shots against him a night, he's probably going to let in 2 goals, kind of thing. But if your defense can step up and can, keep the shot amount to a minimum, for your goaltender, then you're going to have a solid opportunity to win. Like I said, their 2 losses, they lost 2-1. Fleury can't be expected to, have a shutout every night or only give up 1 goal kind of thing. He's playing the Rangers. They're the President's Cup team. It's a tough opponent. But only letting in 2 goals, your offense needs to be able to score 2 or 3 to win those games. But again, the Rangers aren't going to be an easy team to beat. So it's a tough series. Like I said, the three games have been all decided by 1 goal. 2 of those 3 games, 2-1 scores. So, low scoring games outside of the 4-3 game that the Penguins won, 2-1 for the other 2. So low scoring games. But I do think Fleury has the talent to get them to the second round. If the Penguins can find a way to get the puck past Lundqvist a little more, then they could easily make this a 2-2 series when they match up again, and then they can continue to find success, find a way to get those wins. Like I said, they're going to be tight games, they're going to be low scoring games, and if your defense can step up and keep the shot count low, if Fleury's facing 30, 35 shots a night, you can't expect a guy to only give up 1 or 2 goals when he's having that much offense thrown at him. If a goaltender faces 35 shots a night and he lets in 3 goals, he's still having an over 900 save percentage, which is solid. Like, that's what you want with a starting goaltender. But they need to be able to make sure their shot count stays down and that they find a way to get the puck to the net. With these, close games, it's only going to take a goal. And if you can come out strong in the first period and maybe catch the Rangers off guard, and you also got to continue to play strong once the third period rolls around. You can't tire it out, you can't tank, that kind of thing. And when you do have the lead in the third period, you can't expect to just control the lead. If you're up 2-1 and there's 8 minutes left in the third period, that doesn't mean you just kind of go on the defensive. I think they need to stay on the attack. Kind of thing, because you can't just ice the puck and play defensive for half of a period just to make the series 2-2 or try to get a win, especially against the Rangers, because they're going to find a way to get into your zone and score on you. So you need to stay aggressive, and I think that's what will help the Penguins find success in this series. So to wrap up, tough series with the Rangers. I think it's one of the most exciting series in the first round for NHL fans to watch. 2-1 right now for the Rangers. Game 4 will be tomorrow night, so keep an eye out for that. Hopefully the Penguins can tie up the series. Thank you again all for watching. You can follow me on Twitter at GHAM614. I'll be talking to you tomorrow about the Pittsburgh Steelers of the NFL. Bye.